my troopers popping in this bitch, popping in this bitch. Me and my troopers popping in this bitch, popping in this bitch. Me and my troopers.
Hello there. So I just had my first Bang energy drink. You see? Yeah, I feel like I'm on a whole other planet right now. I feel like my third eye is about to open right now. That shit hit as soon as I took a sip, so here I am. Hello, my name is Mr. J3T, aka Big Sexy, aka the Kentucky Cannon, aka the World Class Badass, aka Chocolate Thunder with a Caramel Swirl, aka Black Lightning with peanut butter filling, aka the Man of the Century, aka DJ Big Head because I'm a DJ by association if you forgot, aka Big Daddy Long, aka the Houdini of Sexy, aka the Guru of Greatness, aka... What should I be called today? The Mile High Man? The Mile High Man? Does that sound cool? The Mile High Man? Screw it. We're going with it. The Mile High Man. Hello! And today, we're going to be talking about an anime. It's another anime with a long-ass title. Let's see if I can remember it. The title is Suppose a Kid from... You know, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to call it The Kid from the Last Dungeon. Okay, for simplicity's sake. So, The Kid from the Last Dungeon is about a kid named Lloyd. He comes from a town, a village, where he's considered the weakest person there, right? So one day, he moves to a starter town, a town where adventurers who are just starting out go. He goes there in hopes of joining that town's army, right? To get stronger. But here's the thing, though. In his town, he may be considered the weakest, but in this starter town, he's very OP. Because it turns out Lloyd comes from a town full of extremely powerful people, and he just so happens to be considered the weakest one in his town. But when he goes to this startup town, a place where starter adventurers go, he just so happens to be the most powerful person in that town. So, shenanigans ensue. Now, the animation, the animation's pretty good for the most part. The fight scenes are pretty okay. You know, they're not mind blowing. They aren't like the fights from Jujutsu Kaisen, but they're pretty good. Or the God of High School, for that matter. They aren't like up there in terms of fight scenes, but they're pretty good. They're lookable. They're nice. They aren't like the World's Finest Assassin fight scenes. Like, you remember the World's Finest Assassin, the anime that I talked about a few weeks ago? Yeah, they aren't like that bad. But the fight scenes, but they're not that good either. They're pretty good. I didn't see any flaws in the animations. The characters move nicely. You know, it's pretty good. Pretty good animation. Pretty good. The characters is something I want to talk about. So, Lloyd. Here's the thing about Lloyd. Even though he's super powerful, he considers himself weak because he comes from a town full of extremely powerful people. So he considers himself weak, and he thinks that, oh, I can't do anything, everybody needs my help, when in reality, like, everybody else needs his help. They need him to get shit done in the town, right? And I kind of felt bad for him, because even though he's uber powerful, he still thinks he's weak. But he still tries, though, He still tries to help out, even though he does think of himself as weak. And one of my favorite parts of the show is there are these big old bug like monsters, right? And to the people of the town, they're big, strong, and scary, right? But to Lloyd, he just looks at them as regular bugs. So whenever one of them shows up, he just smacks them away like they're just a normal bug. And that's a bit of a running gag in the show with these giant, big old monsters, bug like monsters, and he just smacks them away like regular bugs. And everybody's just like, what the what? That's one of my favorite jokes of the show, is just how powerful Lloyd is compared to everybody else. That, like, there's a moment in the show where he fails to get into the army, and it's one of the teachers is like, show me his test results. At first they think that they're just scribbles, right? But one of the teachers is like, these aren't scribbles, these are like some ancient scriptures, ancient powerful scriptures right here. So where is this kid? And they're like, we don't know. Then she goes, well, look for him. We need to find this kid yesterday. So, like, yeah, he is that powerful compared to everybody else that, like, she's stressing to them, like, we need to find this kid because we are in a jam right now, and he's our golden ticket. He's the person that's gonna help us get through this mess. Yeah, so put it like this. In this town, those bug-like creatures, those are considered monsters. But where Floyd comes from, demon lords are considered monsters. Like, he's fought demon lords before, and so you could see, like, whenever he faces off against these bug-like monsters, he just sees them as just regular bugs. There's one character named Alan, whom Lloyd and Alan become friends, right? But at first they get off into a bit of a wrong foot, and when Alan's faced off against one of these bug monsters, he just cowers and hides. But Lloyd comes in and gives him a pep talk. A monster's right behind him. Alan's like, wait, behind you, and Floyd just swats it away like it's nothing. Alan just stands there like, what? That was the monster right there that I was telling you about. And Lloyd's like, oh, you mean that bug? And Alan just looks at him like, that's just a bug to you. So yeah, this is a pretty funny show. It has a lot of funny moments. The dialogue is one of the funniest parts of the show, because I watched the English dub of this show, and, like, you could just tell the voice actors had so much fun dubbing of this anime, because there's a lot of funny lines from each of the characters. When Floyd, I always try and call him Floyd. Lloyd. When Lloyd first comes to the town, he meets this wizard named Maria. Yeah, Maria. So he meets this wizard named Maria, or is it a witch? Yeah, never mind, a witch. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, a witch. He meets this witch named Maria. Sorry, I'm all over the place. The bang is still in my system, guys. So he meets this witch named Maria, and when they first meet, Lloyd's like, oh, my stamina's not that good. It took me 6 days to get here. Maria's like, that's not bad, you know. Took you 6 days to get here by train. That's not bad at all. And Lloyd just looks at her like, train? I didn't take a train. I ran here. And Maria's just like, what, you ran here? And he goes on to explain other things that how about like, oh, I can summon rain out of nowhere. I know that's not a lot, and Maria's just like, that's just not something normal people can do. And like, she just, at the end of seeing all of this, Maria just tells Lloyd, look, tomorrow I'm gonna give you a crash course on common sense. So yeah, it has a lot of funny moments. There's one moment where Alan is talking to the girls, right? Lloyd and two other characters, Reno, and Selena. Selena, and he's talking about or going somewhere for an arranged marriage, and they're kind of just blowing her off. They're blowing him off, and they're just like, "Oh, I feel sorry for the girl, for the lady," and Alan just says, "I'm a snack, and you know it." Yeah, so that's just like a few of the funny moments. I'll tell you one more. There's one moment where Lloyd goes to a hotel and helps them out a little bit. One of the workers there tells him to scrub the pool area, right? And as she's talking, you can see Lloyd in the background just scrubbing all of the walls and the floor, and he says, "I'm done." And she says, "Oh, you got a joker." She turns around and everything is clean. She's in shock, and Lloyd just shoots up to the ceiling because he forgot to clean the ceiling, and starts cleaning up the ceiling, and she screams, "How are you doing this?" And then the manager comes in and says, "Hey, I'm looking for you." Then like when he sees that light, he just, "Dear, oh God, that light." Oh. So yeah, this show is extremely funny. Like I haven't laughed that much watching an anime in a while now. This show is like extremely funny. Like funny gags, funny jokes, funny dialogue from all the characters. It's really funny. Like yeah, like I said, I haven't laughed at an anime like that in a while now. So good on you, show. You made me laugh. Speaking of the characters, I like most of them. Maria, I liked her. I liked hers and Lloyd's dynamic, where like he thinks that he thinks he's weak, but she knows that he's really powerful. So she kind of tries to trick him into helping her, like take out these big bad monsters. Like the first time she does this, she's taking on this demon lord, right? This demon lord is the person who's controlling all of the bug creatures, and this demon lord just so happens to take over her dad, who is the king, and she gets both of them in the same place, right? And she's like, "Oh, he's been drinking a lot, so you might want to go help him out. He's wearing a costume and face paint," something like that, right? And Lloyd is, ugh, God, I keep calling him Floyd. Lloyd, God. And Lloyd just sort of looks at him like, "Oh, okay, I know how to make that work." He writes a little inscription, right? And he just slowly starts to walk up towards the demon lord, and just slowly starts to wipe the demon lord away. And the demon lord can't do anything about it because Lloyd is OP, and he just like, "Oh, I'm melting. And you think I'm making that up, but I'm actually serious. Like, he says something to the effect of, "I'm melting, oh, why?" He says something like that, and it's genuinely funny. Like, I like that a lot. I like their dynamic. There's two people that he befriends that I mentioned earlier called Selena and Rio. Uh, Sel- Selena, her situation with Lloyd is funny because when they first met, he saves her from a bug monster and he manages to unlock this curse that she had where, like, her face is wrapped with this material, right? And when he grabbed it, right? But it didn't do anything. When she gets home, the wraps sort of just fall off, and her face is like freeze her face basically, and the straps ended up becoming something like her familiar, protecting her and all that. And after all of that, like, she ends up falling head over heels for Lloyd to the point where she becomes borderline obsessed with Lloyd, to the point where any other female that interacts with Lloyd, she immediately gets suspicious and turns psycho mode. So that was pretty funny. We had Rio, who gets drafted into the army as she was a mercenary on the run, but she gets drafted into the army, and she ends up becoming friends with Lloyd and Selena, because Selena, she's, even though she is obsessed with, like, Lloyd, and Lloyd is very much her main focus and drive, she still cares about other people. She still, like, considers other people important. It's just that Lloyd is the most important out of all of them in her mind. She actually does care about Rio. Whenever Rio is telling Lloyd about her past, Selena comes in and she's like, "Why didn't you tell me this? I thought we were friends. I thought we were cool." So, yeah, she isn't just completely, like, all about Lloyd. She actually does care about other people. Uh, there's another moment with Selena where she and Lloyd are on a boat, and Lloyd is saying, "Oh, I'm not really that great. I rely on a lot of people. I'm not that strong, you know." And Selena tells him, like, "Look, like, you are plenty strong. Like, it's because of you that we're all trying to do better. We're all trying to follow in your example." So, yeah, she does actually care about Lloyd too. She doesn't just love him because he helped her a few times. She actually does, like, care about him and tries to make him feel better whenever he's down. So that was a sweet little moment, you know. And all in all, I liked most of the characters. The villain of the show is kind of forgettable. I wish, like, this is a thing that plagues a lot of animes. They only have, like, 12 episodes, so they need to, like, cram a lot of stuff in only a few episodes. So the villain is one of the things that takes a bit of a hit. The villain is kind of forgettable. We really only know his motivations in, like, the last episode is where we really get to see what he's all about, what his motivations are, and he's kind of forgettable. He's not really the best villain. They leave it off. His whole story ends off in, like, a cliffhanger for, like, a potential season 2, so maybe they can flesh him out more in season 2. But for now, he's comes off as forgettable. Like, I barely remember him. And the rest of his associates, because he's not doing this by himself, he has associates too. One of his associates is more memorable. Soma, I believe his name is. He's a friend of Lloyd. They come from the same village, and Lloyd considers Soma a big brother, but he's working with the villain, not for evil intentions, but he claims that he's doing this for Lloyd because he says that he's helping Lloyd to become a hero and to become an adventurer and to get stronger. And for Lloyd to get stronger, he needs strong opponents to fight. So that's why he's helping the villain, is so Lloyd can get stronger and become the great hero and a great adventurer and all that. So in a sick, twisted way, he's kind of helping Lloyd a little bit by trying to release the Demon Lord, a big old like Demon Lord, right? So I'll have all these monsters create the world for Lloyd to fight. So in a weird way, he's actually helping Lloyd a little bit. But yeah, he's comes off as memorable. He's a little more memorable for me. His assistant is kind of up there with Soma in terms of memorability a little bit. Like, she's like right here, a close second in memorability. Like, up here is Soma, and like right there is her. I say she's like in second place because in terms of memorability, because I don't really remember her name. And like at the bottom is the main villain, because I could barely remember anything that involves him. I'm trying to remember stuff about him now, but I just can't. So again, hopefully, if the show gets a season 2, hopefully they can flesh him out more. But for now, yeah, he comes off as a little forgettable. All in all, I really like this show. It's funny as hell. It has some good animation, some good characters. The villain is a little forgettable. And it's a part of a genre that I'm really starting to like. Just this overpowered main character just going around and beating up everybody. Just beating everything that comes his way. This is starting to become a genre that I like, because another show that I really like is it's called The Misfit of the Demon Lord Academy, and that anime also has an overpowered protagonist going around and destroying everything in his path, and that's funny to see. I just like the concepts of just this OP main character just wrecking everything and not even breaking a sweat. So I just like that whole genre. I'm starting to like, because if we're getting shows like The Misfit of Demon Lord Academy and this show, I'm in for it. Like, I want to see more of this type of show. I want to see more of it now. Like, I'm a fan of this genre. But with that being said, I like the show a lot. It could do better in some aspects, but despite its flaws, I still like it. I give it 2 thumbs up with no J3T stamp of approval. But yes, if you want to watch this, if I intrigued you in this show, I'll be leaving the link in the description to the website of where I watched the show on. So if I piqued your interest, you can just go to the description and just click the link and go to the website and start watching the show yourself. But with that being said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. But if you really, really, and I mean really, really like me, consider subscribing and ring that bell so you always know whenever I upload, because it's free, goddammit. It's free. I keep on telling y'all it's free. Don't be a dum-dum. Subscribe today. Ugh. And ring that bell so you always know whenever I upload. I'm pretty sure I said that already, but I really need to get this through your thick skulls. God. Deuces.